years. Ross Scott has been instrumental in maintaining that culture for Coach Brecht so far this year. Meanwhile, at the other end, Nick Myers knows his team has the ability, has the goods to go with a team like Rutgers. And as we've talked about, Mark, sometimes matchups are what they are. And for the Buckeyes right now, it's probably as much mental as it is physical against the Scarlet Knights. As we are underway here in semifinal number 2. Ignacio with the face-off. The Buckeyes ready to do work here in this first quarter of play. Dark jerseys with the red numbers. We'll do our best to identify them for you as you're watching them on the TV screen here tonight. Scarlet Knights in the white jerseys and the red shorts.
Got to pull out the glasses for this game.
Bouncing shot inside. Goes wide. Myers babysits it to the back line. Now makes the run for Ohio State.
What a sensational season for Jack Myers. First team All-Big Ten selection a year ago, and you wouldn't have really thought it.
Wrap-around opportunity. Curse with the save and the rebound score. Jackson Reed, the senior out of Ontario, gets the rebound mark at Ohio State. 50 seconds in, goes up 1-0.
This is the bread and butter of this Ohio State Buckeye offense. It's a two-man game. Picks, slips, nice dodge from behind by Ari Allen, and Jackson Reed after the save by Colin Kirst. Hits him in the body, ricochets out to number 29, who just redirects it into the back of the cage.
Instant replay. Mark, first game, Ohio State jumped out quickly, led 3-0 in that game before. Rutgers would outscore them 17-5 the rest of the way.
Yeah, don't forget, don't think that wasn't mentioned by Nick Myers and his staff this week in preparation for this game. And Ignacio with another face-off win against Dehenio of Rutgers, something to keep an eye on throughout the evening.
So the Buckeyes now with the early 1-0 lead and looking for more here as they try to establish themselves here under the lights here in College Park at Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium.
It's an Ohio State team that loves to invert their middies, and then they love to slide off a guy from the crease to set up a two-man game in those little slip picks.
Wraparound opportunity there. Goes wide by Pelkey. Backed up by Myers. Myers, of course, a local product out of the nation's capital via Gonzaga. WCAC Lacrosse product. Hoping to put on a show for the home folks tonight. He'll try the question mark opportunity. That goes wide. Didn't really get his shoulders turned to get that shot on frame. Shot clock at 31 for the Buckeyes and 13-17 to go here in quarter number 1.
So you look at the matchups right off the bat. Jared Jean Felix guarding Jack Myers for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Russo and Jean Felix are kind of 1A, 1B for this Rutgers close defense.
5 shots in under 2 minutes already for the Buckeyes here. Pelkey from behind the goal. Turns. Second defender comes. Nice feed in front. Ball blocked down. And here comes Rutgers trying to scoop up the ground ball, and they will. But for the first time tonight, Scarlet Knights go on the offense here. Speed dodge from behind the goal. Well, Scott puts it in and gets Rutgers even just like that at 12:37. It's Rutgers 1, Ohio State 1.
Ross Scott, tremendous quickness, gives this Rutgers attack something they really didn't have last year, and that is a fleet-footed playmaker from behind the cage. When you think about Mullins, Kirst, and Charlon Beatis, they were incredible shooters, but they didn't have that dodging ability and they didn't have that closing speed of number 5. Look at him just get topside, completely dusts his defender, sticks it past Wayland, and Rutgers is on the board.
Out of that lacrosse hotbed, Mark, we continue to grow the game, my friend. Westland, Oregon. Shout out to everybody watching on the West Coast tonight.
You know we got people watching.
Always do. Ground ball, Scarlet Knights. Ethan Rawl picks it up. Rutgers looking for more after getting even here. 1-1 as we play in the first quarter. The winner gets the Maryland Terrapins, whose coaching staff is about 30 yards to our left watching this one. Early flurry from Ohio State. Mark, they had 5 shots in just under 2 minutes, and now defensively they've got to settle in here against Rutgers. Extra pass, shot.
Looks like that was not touched by the goalie. It didn't nick
so
the
no
pipe
reset.
either, so no shot clock reset. I love the action of this Rutgers offense, the quick ball movement. They're always looking for that quality high percentage shot down low. They use their 2-man game up top versus Ohio State, who primarily operates the 2-man game behind the cage.
Shot goes wide. Whalen going to run that out. And Ohio State going to get the ground ball. Tereski, or check it, Jacoby in tight quarters, missing that shot wide off the pass from Scott.
I think Whalen might be the most athletic goalie in this tournament. When you look at Curson from Hopkins, McNaney from Maryland, and of course Kirst on the other end for Rutgers. Whalen is a guy who just loves to run shots out, ventures from the cage. We saw it from McNaney in our first game, but Whalen does it consistently throughout a 60-minute contest.
Murray Allen dodging far side against the shorty, comes in, misses it, top of the goal. You see Nick Myers, always with the pen, just under the hat.
I always wonder what he does with it during the game, or if it's just there. I've never seen him use it during a game.
You know, sometimes no, but sometimes maybe he's using it in a huddle or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
of course,
But
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
other than that, I mean, you know, sometimes people are just superstitious, you know.
I'm just impressed that he keeps it there. Mine would be falling out. I'd be fiddling with it the whole time.
Guy from the state of Maine who's made Columbus his home now.
Been there 20 years.
Program investing in lacrosse there at Ohio State. So you imagine things are just going to even get better for Coach Myers and his staff. Shot on the interior. Whalen makes the save that time. He grabs the ground ball and starts up the field here as he stones a shooter from 5 yards away. Good job by Whalen, stopping Brian Cameron.
Nice pickup. That was good offense by the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Cameron got it right on the doorstep, but Whalen makes his body bigger. He'll come out at shooters. And he's unconventional. He will flail, he will kick his leg up, and uses his whole body to make saves. Does it right there, and then picks up a nifty ground ball to get it out of harm's way.
Myers dodging above goal line. Gets picked up by the shorty on the switch now. Shot clock at 35 for the Buckeyes. Myers comes out the near side. Defender falls down. He goes down low. Rebound picked up in front. And Kirst, they're going to call a crease violation anyway. What a job by Kirst that time in front. Ohio State, Mark, with a golden opportunity. Defender falls down, and somehow the Buckeyes come away empty.
We mentioned Colin Kirst elevating his game when the stakes get higher, and at no point of the season have they been higher than tonight. And he just made 2 incredible dynamic saves. So we've seen good goaltending, but you can see the difference in Kirst and Whalen. Kirst stayed home, reacted quick, now has 3 saves on the game. More of a heels-to-the-line goaltender than Skylar Whalen.
Kirst's brother Cole and Lee Hunt with a quarterfinal win of the Patriot League this week. They will be in action tomorrow night.
His brother, the other brother, CJ, for Cornell, going after it in the Ivy League tournament tomorrow.
Pretty good backyard lacrosse there. To see the Kirst brothers show up at a playground near you, don't play.
Yeah. Or wear your pads.
Shot and a goal near side. Jacoby with the nice finish off the pass from Cameron. And it's 2-1 Rutgers.
You talk about having a hot goaltender or a goaltender that can steal goals. And that's what Kirst does down at this end. Look at Myers. Use the goal as a pick. The trip. Kirst, look like he might have hit the pipe actually a little bit, but still, look at the reaction and the positioning as Kirst then made another save. And this is just good offense. They're going to drag Jacoby out. He just drifts to his left. Defensive miscommunication. No one follows him, and he whips it past Whalen. Rutgers has their first lead of the ballgame.
After the Buckeyes scored first, 2 goals in the last 4:27 now for Rutgers. They've taken the lead 2-1. Pick up the face-off. Ground ball scooped up by Mason Rickens. Rutgers looking for more. And again, the first game they withstood a 3-0 start by Ohio State. Now already ascending to the lead at 2-1. Scott looking for more. So impressive, Mark, about Rutgers. I mean, look, you make a great run with a handful of great talent, and then that talent exits, and sometimes teams tend to back up. This Rutgers team did not. They lost a ton of talent over the last couple of years through the pandemic, and Brian Breck talks about how it's great that guys stay and want to get their initial degree and sometimes even their master's now with the opportunity for Rutgers, and it's helped keep that culture going. Shot, Whalen makes the save there. Wants to handshake.
Look at the team from 21 to 22. You lose your whole starting attack and Sherlin Beatus, Mullins, and Kirst. Preseason, you lose arguably your top offensive midfielder, David Sprock, to an injury, season-ending injury. So there's 4 offensive studs off of your lineup, but you go into the transfer portal, you get Cameron, you get Bartolo, you get Jacoby, and then you've got guys who have been with you. Ross Scott, he only scored 14 points last year. Now he's close to 60, running your offense, quarterback of the offense. Ryan Gallagher has been here forever, a loyal soldier, moved to the midfield now after moving from attack last year. And then Shane Knobloch, reigning Big Ten, the 2021 Big Ten Freshman of the Year, 2022 First Team All Big Ten. So it's a team that does it with a mix of different players, homegrown talent and some transfers.
Oh, great cut without the ball with the pass. And it converted. Jackson Reed again, cutting down the left alleyway with the left-hand finish, and he puts it home, and the Buckeyes are even here at 2-2.
These are your 2 captains for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 2 in the scarlet and gray, Jack Myers, and then number 29, Jackson Reed. Nice job of keeping the play alive, get the ball behind the goal to X. I mean, that is a really nice play by number 16, Jason Knox, to keep it alive as he was falling down, and Reed collects the feed, sticks it, and levels the score once again.
Great cut without the ball. We talk about it all the time, Mark. You stand around, we talk about defenders watching the ball. Sometimes offensive players stand around and watch the guy with the ball, but Reed with a nice cut without the ball there to get open.
That's the importance of ball movement.
Opportunity off the face-off. Goes wide.
Whether it's high school, college, no matter how talented you are, when the ball is in the player of one, the ball is in the stick of one player, more than 55% of the time on offense, you're going to have 5 other guys standing around being like, okay, when can I have my turn? Great offensive players know 2 things. 1, you have to have an off-ball game, and 2, when you give the ball back, when you give the ball up unselfishly, it's going to come back to you. It's going to find its way back to you eventually.
Shot clock at 30 here. Left alleyway, shot goes wide that time by Mitch Bartolo.
You know, gone are the days of the big attackman, you know, kind of bullying his way in, bullying, you know, holding the ball for 5-10 seconds. The ball moves so fast, it moves faster than your feet.
I would say when you pass it, certainly moves faster that way. Another opportunity, Whalen up to the task here. Long rebound out to the right. And we're going to have a penalty coming up here on Rutgers. Going to be against Ryan Gallagher. Great job by Whalen again, though. Mark up to the task here, making the initial save, and eventually it draws a penalty.
Has great reflexes, tremendous reflexes.
3-4, push with possession, 30 seconds.
The person that was fouled on that play, we mentioned Shane Knobloch, the 2021 Big Ten Freshman of the Year. This is your 2022 award winner, Bobby Van Buren, out of North Carolina, homeschooled, no less. Just gets shoved to the turf from behind. Gallagher just trying to make a play, runs up the back of Van Buren. 30-second foul, man advantage up for the Buckeyes.
Tied at 2.
And you want to talk about an EMO, Pete, 60% on the season, 3rd in the NCAA. This is a very lethal EMO group.
Here it comes from 12. Shot goes wide. Ball bounced back over the field, keeping Ohio State from getting a quick restart off of that. 13 left on the penalty. Again, looking to get it into the interior. Good defense there by Rutgers to keep it out. Penalty is over. Defender back in the box, 6-on-6. Myers looking in front, around the back shot, and a goal. Trent DeChico puts it home. An impressive finish there off the pass by Myers behind the goal.
It's prime time, under the lights. Nothing wrong with a little razzle-dazzle if you are the Ohio State Buckeyes. Nice feed, a little around the world from DeChico. Let's look at it again. It doesn't get more special than that.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Lacrosse on the Big Ten Network, brought to you by State Farm. You want the real deal, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. State Farm, state of success. Bobby Van Buren, as Mark alluded to, the freshman of the year. The Buckeyes, right now, answering the call, leading 3-2. And Mark, Big Ten tournament history, both teams with 5 appearances. Each team trying to add another championship game appearance.
Yeah, you know, these are 2 programs that have really made the investment in lacrosse. Rutgers with the Rutgers Center up in Piscataway, championship game appearance back in 2016. And Ohio State, they've got the Schumacher right now, but they've got a facility going up, Pete, that is second to none. It's going to be an unbelievable venue for the Buckeyes to play in, fans to watch games, and they're looking to get back to their first Big Ten tournament title game since 2017. Who could forget that epic slugfest with the University of Maryland at Ohio State on Jesse Owens Field.
Tehenia with a violation, and the Buckeyes going back to work now. Draws are even at 3 so far here in the contest. Pelkey. Keeps it moving behind the goal. Myers dodging and scoring as he goes upstairs. And Jack Myers gives Ohio State the 4-2 lead with 3:55 to go here in the first quarter.
You look to players that go from great to special, and what do they do to improve? Jack Myers, primarily a feeder in his first few years in Columbus, has developed into much more of a scorer. Trey LeClaire no longer here. Don't worry. Number 2, Jack Myers can make things happen. And again, that 2-man game, those picks, even though you know they're coming, communication, so critical. And Myers takes advantage of it to score his first of the night.
Early, he'd been a feeder with 2 assists. Now he's an eater with the goal there. Ball pops up in the air, comes down Rutgers' way. Badly needed draw here, down 4-2 with 3:43 to go here in the opening quarter. Scott scored on a speed dodge move earlier to get Rutgers on the board. Going to certainly be no panic in the Scarlet Knights. This neutral field contest. Here's Gallagher. Shot clock at 35. Long range shot comes here. Ball gets knocked down. Picked up by Bartolo. No reset. Scott behind the goal. Comes around, shoots it wide. Cameron runs it out.
I love the spacing of this Rutgers offense, but credit Ohio State. Even though they're really spread out, they're very disciplined. They're staying in their area of responsibility, and they're not sliding.
Jacoby trying to make the run in from the wing. Nice pass to the backside. The shot goes high. Bartolo again with 14 now on the shot clock. Shot clock at 5. Down low, just to the right of Wallen. 2 seconds left on the shot clock from Knobloch.
Good defense by Ohio State. They'll get a reaction from the Buckeye faithful in attendance here tonight from the bench. Big clap, and Rutgers got off some shots, just nothing of real dangerous quality.
Ohio State has converted 3 of its last 4 shots after starting 1 of 7. Rutgers, meanwhile, has missed its last 8. 2:12 to go here in this opening quarter. The Buckeyes looking for more, leading by 2. The date against Maryland to the winner. You see the shot count has been busy early, as you would expect from these 2 solid clubs offensively. Moving through the top of the box. Jackson Reed, who's been busy early in this game, going to dodge 1v1 here. Slide comes over. Cole forces the give up. Myers from behind the goal. Shot clock at 18. Myers will try. He scores! Jack Myers falling away from 12 yards mark, and he finds the net. And the Buckeyes have 5 here in the opening quarter as they lead it 5-2.
Myers is a tall drink of water. 6'4", 204 pounds. No one in the Big Ten maybe uses their body better than Myers. Look at that
little flick.
Second, look at that. Look at the left arm.
Yeah, right there.
That's not warding off because you've got 2 hands on the stick. That was his right arm, actually, and he just lifts Jared Jean Felix's stick and goes by it. Completely legal. 2 hands on the stick. And he uses his body, uses his long appendages to get by Jared Jean Felix and stick it from the middle of the field.
So a 5-2 lead here for Ohio State. Rutgers right back where they were in the first meeting between these 2 teams, down by 3 in the first quarter with 1:23 to go here. Henio tried to bring it back and sweep it back in. These guys hustling from the back line, able to get it moved left to right here. Good job by Brian Boswell.
That was a big ground ball by Boswell, and very smart. He saw that the officials did award possession, and he released from the box first. Got over that restraining line and was able to pick up the first-time grounder, jets it up the sideline and gets it out of harm's way. It'll show up on the stat sheet as a ground ball, but that's just a fundamental heads-up play.
Getting locked in mentally, watching what's happening. Jacoby looks up at the clock. 40 seconds on the game clock. They can hold for 1 if they choose to do so. Gallagher. Drops it back, bad pass. Knobloch will save it though with 22. Bartolo. Backside Jacoby. He'll try and score. What a shot by Jacoby. He puts it home with 13 seconds to go. And we keep making a highlight reel here in this first quarter as Jacoby answers for Rutgers. It's Ohio State 5, the Scarlet Knights 3.
Terrific shot by Ronan Jacoby. I like how they overload one side of the field. Look at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 Scarlet Knights beyond the middle of the field. They get Ohio State defense drifting over that way. And Jacoby just on the backside. Skip passes are so critical at this level. And you can see the Scarlet Knight bench, they love it. That was a much needed goal delivered by Ronan Jacoby.
Former Division III star at Wesleyan. Gets a big goal for his new team here. 10 seconds to go. Ohio State with an opportunity here as the time winds down in the quarter. Stick gets hit though, pass off the mark. Out here on the near side with 2 seconds. Ball dropped, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Certainly a lot to watch for the fans of the first 15 minutes. The Buckeyes by 2 on Big Ten Network.
This is Mike. Mike fills up with unlimited.
Coming up here in College Park, number 3 Ohio State leading number 2 Rutgers here in this Big Ten semifinal. 5-3. Big quarter for the Buckeyes for Jack and Jackson.
There it is to show the two captains. They've scored or assisted on the last 4 Ohio State goals. At any point in this season, when you talk to Nick Myers, he just basically said, Jack Myers, Jackson Reed, they're the ones that had the bad taste left in their mouth. Last year losing in the Big Ten tournament to Michigan. They're the ones that are motivating us. No preseason All-Americans. Picked to finish 5th in the Big Ten preseason poll. These are the tone setters, and they're certainly doing it here tonight.
Rutgers has won the draws in the first quarter, and they get the first one here in the second. Though important to note, Coach Myers did not say the bad taste in the loss to Michigan, as he consistently referred to them as the school up north.
Well, I'm not talking to Coach Myers right now, so I'm comfortable saying Michigan.
I'm just trying to make sure the Ohio State fans know that Coach Myers knows the vocabulary.
He never says, he always says that team up north, absolutely. But that was a big deal. That was a big deal to them because if you think about it, 2019, first ever Michigan lacrosse win over Ohio State, ended any opportunity Ohio State was going to have for an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. Obviously, 2020 didn't happen. 2021, the teams played 3 times, and Ohio State won the first 2 meetings in the regular season. Michigan won that Big Ten tournament game. So in essence, these seniors on this team now twice during their careers, they've had their seasons ended by that team up north.
And Wallen with back-to-back saves. Here's another 1v1 save on the left side. The ground ball comes up Ohio State. 5 saves now for Wallen so far in the contest.
He's been a difference maker, having an influence on this game for sure.
Settled in very nicely, especially with all the talk of Kirst at the other end and all of his great play. But it's Wallen here in the early going and setting the tone for his Ohio State team. Of course, up until the fact, Michigan finally started lacrosse, Ohio State could participate in that, watching their other, athletic brethren at Ohio State, but really wasn't something they could participate in themselves. And now that they can, here's a long-range shot. That's off the mark. Goes wide from Colby Smith.
It's a huge deal at this school, and much like the football team for Ohio State, the lacrosse team has a countdown clock to the next time they're going to play Michigan. Rivalry week was fun in the Big Ten that last weekend of the regular season.
Myers. Keep it moving near side for Smith. Inside opportunity coming up here for Knox, and it's Kirst that comes up with the save. Crease violation anyway. Referees will communicate before, and now they make the signal.
Slippery move by Knox. Love that move, but Not crazy about him dropping his hands, dropping his wrists. I felt like he lost all leverage on that shot.
Now the Scarlet Knights down 2. Getting out, or out shooting Ohio State, 16-14 here in this first half. Wallen, though, standing tall between the pikes with 5 saves for the Buckeyes. Bartolo back to the far side. Cameron keeps it moving. Scott, speed dodge from behind the goal, and Wallen again reaches up high to make the save there. That might have been going over the crossbar, but Wallen not taking any chances. 6 saves now for the Ohio State keeper.
He's a difference maker. Love the way he explodes to the ball. 6 saves for Wallen, 4 saves for Colin Kirst. We're going to have a procedure call against the Buckeyes. Mental mistakes like that can really cost you in a game like this.
Restart, good open shot from the left side. Again, Wallen down low on the high-to-low opportunity from Scott. Give him a lucky 7 now in the save category. And Rutgers just keeps taking shot after shot. Wallen right now has the answers here in a 5-3 lead for the Buckeyes.
Wallen seeing the ball incredibly well. That was a clean stop.
4 of those 7 saves have come here in this quarter. We get a timeout on the field. Nick Myers, his staff, going to go to work here, try to add 1 more as their goalie. Skylar Wallen, standing tall so far here in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent.
But since he's come on, he's given this team a lift. He's given them a spark. And tonight, he has been a brick wall thus far, especially here in the second quarter. And this is where we saw in the first semifinal game, the separation that Maryland got from Hopkins. It was 4 saves for Logan McNaney for the Terps. Skylar Wallen doing his part with 4 stops here in the second quarter as well. And that last one on Ross Scott was a thing of beauty.
Ball deflected away by Baldwin, but Ohio State sprinting to the ball here. Looking to create something off of it. Good step in, shot. Kirst turns it aside as he denies Pelkey.
Good save by Kirst.
Needed that, Mark.
He did. Saw it all the way, used his body really well. Again, I feel Kirst just elevates his game the higher the stakes are. When you look at that first round game last year against Lehigh in Charlottesville, he was superb. He was terrific up at Hofstra in that 1-goal loss to the University of North Carolina. He's been streaky a little bit this year in 22. I didn't think he had his best effort a couple weeks ago against Penn State to close out the regular season, but he's on point tonight.
Bartolo comes inside, has it knocked away though right as he gets in front of the crease. Sprint for the ground ball behind the goal. The Buckeyes come up with it.
Bartolo, the tallest player in Division I college lacrosse, 6'6". That time I think his length hindered him as he got inside and had those long arms to check.
Good job by Greg Langemeyer to get that ground ball, and he throws it forward here. Ari Allen going to work. Buckeyes and Rutgers combined 0 for 8 here in this second quarter. Buckeyes leading by 2.
Credit both goaltenders. Credit the defenses as well. I think they've settled in at this point.
Ari Allen dodging above the goal line. Brings it back to the top. Smith throws it down the side of the box here.
Allen, a terrific high school football player. Went to the IMG Academy with the hopes of landing a Division I football scholarship. And when things didn't work out to his liking, not a bad other choice, right? Division I lacrosse at Ohio State.
Definitely not. Scott White's shot stopped there by Kirst. Back-to-back saves for the Rutgers. Netminder ball knocked down. Fortunately, he's able to get it back. They've got to hustle. 6 saves now for Kirst. He's going to throw it long here. A very ambitious pass. And it goes over everybody's head out of bounds. Just the second turnover by Rutgers in this game. You can see Brian Breck not happy with his club's focus right now at all.
It's sloppy. And you think about that quarterfinal game last year against Carolina, it was a failed clear that led to Carolina's victory and a place in championship weekend. So you just have to really take care of the ball, especially in a game like this where it's starting to settle in. It looks like it might be a little bit more low scoring than the start of this game had suggested. And just having to play consecutive stints on defense is just not advantageous for either team, especially the Scarlet Knights.
Myers gets it from Wiseman. Starts right, now comes left. Recovery by Gene Felix defensively. Wiseman does make the flip to Pelkey. Pelkey draws the side from the long pole, loses his stick. Great job defensively there for the Scarlet Knights to check that away as Kirst ends up getting the ball by Remington Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds with a tremendous copter check.
Quick restart, rebound, score! Jackson Reed off of the chaos with a pass that went out of bounds in the corner, and Reed ends up 10 yards in front of the goal with an opportunity, and he bangs it home for Ohio State.
Like we saw in the first game this evening, face-off wins that weren't really wins for the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. This is a defensive stop, right? Colin Kirst then throws the ball sloppily to Jared Gene Felix. I'm not sure if Gene Felix thought that Russo called him off of the ball, and then just a dangerous save right there. As a defender in a long pole, you never want to play the ball back into the middle of the field, but that's exactly what Bobby Russo does. First shot looked like it hit the pipe, bounces out, and Reed then redirects it and sticks it, and Brian Breck just trying to settle his team down and get back to fundamentals.
Here for
take another step upfield to increase his angle. That was as slippery as a move we've seen all night.
Bartolo behind the goal now for Scott, now Gallagher. Match up with a shorty. Tries to come back inside, now goes back outside. Back to the point. Bartolo across the top of the box. Keep it moving now for Knobloch. Shot clock at 28. Cameron to Bartolo. Jacoby steps into one. That goes wide. Shot clock at 21 for the Scarlet Knights.
We're going to have a slash call against Ohio State. So when you're struggling, which Rutgers has over the last 5 minutes or so, extra man offense is a tremendous opportunity to get back into this game.
First man up of the game here coming up.
Yeah, take your pick. It looked like it could have been a little bit of action up high, but then the slide looks like it may have gotten Knobloch across the face mask.
Rutgers at 44% with extra man opportunities. Martelo, now to Scott. For the cutter inside. Can they save it? They can't. Over and back against Rutgers. Still remaining on the penalty, but Ohio State doing exactly what you want to do when you're a man down. Have possession is the best way to kill this thing on the final 15 seconds of the penalty. Trying to hit a cutting Eric Savetti down the middle of the box. The pass was too high. Results in the over and back.
Yeah, turnovers over the last handful of minutes have really cost Rutgers dearly.
6-3 Buckeyes. Now block, tried to little sneak attack from the side against Wiseman. Wiseman. Allen keeps it moving here near side. Smith now for Myers. Myers 2-2 so far. Oh, pulls his way to Gene Felix, who loses his helmet. Flag up in the air as Myers ends up on the ground.
I think that's going to be an illegal procedure against Rutgers as Gene Felix lost his helmet and continued to play. We'll take a look at the...
White, 81, illegal procedure, playing without the helmet for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Get out of there.
We saw this a couple years ago in the 2017 Big Ten championship game. Look at these two mastodons going at each other. And again, Myers with that right arm is what gets the helmet off of Gene Felix's head. But once you lose a piece of equipment, you have to remove yourself from the play. 2017, Jeff Henrick, long pole for the Ohio State Buckeyes, lost his glove against Maryland in the championship game, continued to play, got called for the penalty. This time it works in Ohio State's favor.
Kirst makes the save on Knox here on the near side.
Good save by Kirst. Not a bad look from Knox, but maybe a little hasty, maybe a little too soon in the extra man set to shoot that one.
8 saves from Kirst. She said mastodons for a minute. I was looking at the Chiron again to see if IP Fort Wayne was here.
Man, those are two big bodies going after each other, Myers and Jared Gene Felix. Gene Felix listed as 6'2", Myers 6'4".
Get a chance to watch that all night. They've been locked up with each other the entire game.
For Gene Felix, you got to figure a way out to prevent Jack Myers from using that right arm to get leverage and gain advantage on you.
Gallagher down the right side. Cameron retreats. Uses Ross Scott. He and Van Buren have been locked up all night. Outside of that first goal by Scott on the speed dodge move, Van Buren's done a great job. Good opportunity to get into space. No shot. Jacoby now. And again, Wallen down low, ready for it with his 10th save of the game.
Yeah, and he read that low to low. Wallen actually cheated on that one. Great save, though.
Great takeaway on the turnover here by Tereski. He slips down, gets back up, and we'll get a whistle and a timeout.
Great job by Tereski to win that back. Some slick footing all of a sudden the last possession. Wallen throws it out, and there's the midi just loses his footing. And then we're going to see Tereski come down and try to come to a stop, and his feet give out from underneath of him. Not sure if maybe as the sun is set and the temperature's cool, maybe some dew established on the field, and Brian Brecht having a conversation with one of the officials trying to get an explanation of something.
I wonder if he thought that Gene Felix didn't have a little help getting the helmet turned off there.
Again, it's not illegal because a free hand wasn't used. As long as you have two hands on your stick, I can bang into you, I can raise my elbows up, I can do whatever as long as I got the ball in my stick and I got two hands, I can pretty much do anything I want.
Meanwhile, coming up tomorrow, semifinals of the Big Ten Women's Lacrosse Tournament takes center stage as Maryland squares off with Johns Hopkins, followed by Northwestern against Rutgers. Live coverage begins tomorrow at 5:30 Eastern on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Take a look at the bracket for the women's games coming up tomorrow. And of course, Maryland and Northwestern, longtime powers in women's lacrosse, and Rutgers and Hopkins trying to make names for themselves coming up tomorrow.
Johns Hopkins trying to extend the career of Janine Tucker, who will retire at the conclusion of this season.
What a marvelous career.
Tall task against the Maryland Terrapins, who really grabbed that #1 seed by virtue of an impressive win over the Northwestern Wildcats recently. Rutgers, home cooking. You got the siren, you got the crowd, you got the fat cats from Are You Hungry? Little home cooking could be an edge that Melissa Lehman and her Scarlet Knights need, but Northwestern, they won the championship last year. Lauren Gilbert leading the way for that talented squad.
Minute 40 to go. Rutgers has scored a goal in every quarter they've played this season. They have yet to score here in the second. Can they do something about it here with Ross Scott in control? Gallagher wipes out Van Buren. Scott gets picked up by a shorty. Van Buren trying to get back to him. Pass inside and they score. Right on cue, Cameron gets the job done. But Mark, the ability to get Van Buren away from Ross Scott got the defense moving around, and Rutgers takes advantage.
Great ball movement and excellent execution for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. You're going to see Van Buren blow up Ryan Gallagher. And to your point, Gallagher then drifts away, tries to get Van Buren as far away as possible. Van Buren's a ball hawk. He wants to be on ball. The space he gives Gallagher allows him to survey down low and finds Cameron underneath, who delivers the whirling dervish into the back of the cage.
27th of the year for Cameron. And a big one for Rutgers. Finally heard from here in this second quarter. And it's now 6-4 in favor of the Buckeyes. And after that tepid pace of that early part of the quarter, each team, after a combined 8 goals in the first, we've had just 2 here in the second.
Timeout.
Hit there in the timeout right at the time the whistle blew. So everything legal. Good ground ball pickup far side, and Nick Myers will call the timeout.
Yeah, and right now what I'm seeing is a little bit more excitement, a little bit more emotion from Ohio State. They seem to be just a little bit more energetic on their sideline, celebrating hustle plays and congratulating one another than the Rutgers bench. But, you know, hey, this is an emotional game. It's a tight game, and this one I think is going to come down to the wire.
Well, the answer to your question is no, by the way, Mark, because the pen is still in the air and he's writing. Let's take a look at the RPI top 11 right now. Both of these teams are in it. The Big Ten well represented with 3.
Yeah, and this is a metric that the NCAA tournament committee, selection committee uses. And you're taking a look at Maryland. I believe they are the #1 overall seed in this year's tournament. Rutgers sitting at number 6. Ohio State sitting at number 11. The NCAA committee also releases a top 10. And their latest top 10 had both Maryland and Rutgers in that configuration. So you have to imagine they're in pretty good standing. Rutgers with 3 RPI top 20 wins. Ohio State with 4, including some teams that could be sniffing around for an at-large berth. And that is gigantic if you are a Buckeye fan.
The question ultimately is how much will that part of the criteria alone, head-to-head, as we like to look at total body of work. You know that catchphrase.
Yes.
But those are significant wins, and then at the same time, you look at the RPI. How do we factor in what has happened to Princeton, losing those games within the Ivy League, where they're not even in their conference tournament yet? They're number 2 in the RPI. How do you reward a team that analytically looks like that, but then didn't even qualify for its conference tournament?
That's a question for the NCAA selection committee, but you look at their entire body of work. That win over Georgetown that they have is a huge chip in their pocket. That's a top 5 RPI win for the Princeton Tigers. I know we talk about strength of schedule as well, and that, I think, has become less and less important over the years if you look at the trends of the NCAA selection committee, because, you know, it's not like teams schedule teams thinking that they're going to be bad. You know, you look at a team like Rutgers, who scheduled Army, Loyola. They had Syracuse, but I think Syracuse dropped the Scarlet Knights from their schedule. Long Island University, they were in their conference tournament. Marist is hosting their conference tournament. You know, it's interesting. You have schools like Duke and Virginia that get patted on the back for playing teams like High Point and Richmond, who are quality teams, but yet a Rutgers and Ohio State will take shrapnel for playing regional rivalries like Cleveland State and Monmouth.
Wiseman cashes in. The question mark from behind the goal. The left-handed finish with 11 seconds to go here in the quarter. They pay off the coach's timeout. Nick Myers talking to his staff as they now up the count to 7-4.
Gigantic goal, and there's nothing fancy about that. It's just basically mano-a-mano, one-on-one, Wiseman bleeding the clock down, and he just runs by his matchup and caroms it off the far post. Great shot by Johnny Wiseman, giving Ohio State back a 3-goal cushion.
You know how goals late in a quarter like that are big emotional lifts going into the locker room here. Ball comes up Ohio State. Throw it to the other end, and that'll do it here in the quarter. Jack Myers and the Buckeyes doing their job here in the first half as the number 3 seed will head to the locker room up by a count of 7-4 here at halftime.
Terrific first half of action. Ohio State, little seesaw in the first couple minutes of the game, but then they just really kind of put their stamp on this thing, established a little bit of distance, and played some real solid lacrosse there in the second quarter.
Let's go downstairs and welcome in Rutgers head coach Brian Brecht.
He's been terrific, and Kirst on the other end has been really good as well. I think Jack Myers has been a handful to guard one-on-one for the Scarlet Knights. We'll see what adjustments they make to limit him. And then offensively, I think Rutgers just needs to get better looks on Wallen because he's hot right now. He's had a terrific hand, and he's saving everything that comes his way. They've got to find better spots to deliver their shots from to be more high percentage.
We'll see if the senior out of Powell, Ohio can keep it up here in the second half as the Buckeyes lead by 3 here in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners makes sense for you.
Seven-4 Buckeyes as they try to add another quality win to their resume for the committee to peruse with some big decisions coming up. Mark, this would be a 5th top 20 RPI win.
Yeah, when you talk about their record, 11 RPI, 4 top 20 RPI wins over Notre Dame, Carolina, Harvard, and Hopkins, and those first 3 are at-large teams sniffing around for those bids. So those are huge chips to have in their pocket on Selection Sunday.
Pleased to be joined now by head coach Nick Myers. Coach, thoughts on your team's play through the first 30 minutes?
We're battling. You know, it's a really good team we're playing. We're fighting for loose balls. We're battling on both ends of the field.
Skylar Wallen, coach, has been a brick wall. How does he continue that effort, and what defensive support is he getting?
He's playing great. He's playing great, man. He's seeing the ball really well. Both goalies are playing great. You know, we just got to keep grinding down there in the defensive end, getting stops for him, helping him, and then doing our job in the offensive end.
Coach, appreciate it. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Nick Myers and his Buckeyes leading here by a count of 7-4 in a similar position in the regular season. Couldn't finish the job against Rutgers. Can they do it here tonight? The 4 goals by Rutgers tied for their season low in the first half. They had 4 in the first half here against Maryland. Buckeyes draw the opening face-off here this second half and look to go to work and add to a 7-4 lead. Justin Ignacio with a pretty solid effort so far here for the Buckeyes in this one. Face-offs all even at 7 now here at the start of this third quarter.
He is a powerful face-off man. A little bit of contrast in styles between him and Dehenio. Both have good quickness, but Ignacio may be a little stronger, and Dehenio may be better on the technique.
Myers goes away from the screen. Gets a second screen out here on the near side. Right on the doorstep. Shot Curse with the save, and then the crease violation against Knox.
Good move. Yeah, good move inside by Knox, but he ended up in the crease, and he also touched the goal circle. Ended up in that taco shape. It is Cinco de Mayo. Ended up in that taco shape little half crease that's in front of the goaltender.
Ross Scott from behind the goal here. There's his buddy Van Buren. They've been attached at the hip here all night. Ross Scott's going to be able to tell you what kind of cologne, deodorant, how Bobby Van Buren's pads smell after a full season of lacrosse action.
What kind of tacos they ate earlier.
Well, we had burritos in between games. It was
Good.
pretty good.
Hit the spot.
Barlow across the top of the box. Back to Jacoby. Gallagher looks to keep it moving. Knobloch here on the near side. He's going to take the initiative for Rutgers now. Get them closer here. Jacoby tries, and he does. Just like he did in the first half, Mark from the same side, down low, and he beats Wallen there. 7-5 Ohio State.
Rutgers has done a great job of moving Ronan Jacoby around tonight, but the result is always the same. He gets the ball in that big left hand, and then he just delivers a strike. Smooth motion. I love how he changes planes on his different shots. This one is more of a worm burner. A couple others have been low to high. Mix it up, try to confuse the goaltender. His speed on that shot is able to solve Wallen.
Third for Jacoby, 33rd of the season. Mark, interesting. I mean, we look at other sports. A guy making a step up from Division III to Division I, a lot difficult in other sports, but why so successful for Jacoby here in lacrosse?
I mean, he's a good lacrosse player, and he's playing in a system that suits him. He's playing with a coaching staff that accentuates his strengths. They put him in good spots on the field. I mean, you think about Kevin Rogers from High Point last season, Charlie Bertrand, a transfer from Merrimack, who played at the University of Virginia last year. You know, it can be done. It's just, is it the right system? Are you a good fit? And are the coaches going to use you properly? And Jacoby checks all those boxes for Rutgers.
Scott trying to go upstairs. Turn aside. Shot clock resets to 60 here for the Scarlet Knights. Wallen having the answer as Scott tried to climb the ladder on him there. Here's Jacoby, who has 3 on the night, looking for more here. Switches to the right hand. Cameron keeps it moving. Scott is there. Good job by Bartolo trying to get into some space. But again, every time somebody thinks they've got space, Ohio State's got a quality slide waiting. Cameron. 1v1 here. Bartolo far side against Van Buren, trying to pull his way through. Battle of big men. Van Buren goes down, but Bartolo can't get a shot because, again, another quality slide by Ohio State. And Wallen that time goes down low right side to deny Tereski.
Nice save. That's the good news. Bad news, reset of the shot clock.
60 more seconds.
But I like Ohio State's energy on this defensive. They're sliding aggressively. They're recovering nicely.
12 saves now for Wallen in the contest. Trying to go down low, and again, he cuts off the near side. Does he win the race? Yes! Skylar Wallen with a big effort again on this possession. Multiple saves, and then the run out. And it comes up Buckeyes.
Second time we've seen a Rutgers player get leverage at goal line extended, and second time we've seen them not take that extra step to increase angle. And that's the athleticism, Pete, that we talked about Wallen in the first quarter. He will run shots out to the end line. He will pick up ground balls and lead clears, transition. Homegrown talent, Olentangy. Whenever you go to Columbus, it's like Olentangy this, Olentangy that, everything Olentangy, and that is Skylar Wallen to a T.
Pelkey trying to carry. He slides down, gets back up, avoids stepping into the crease on the side. Myers will try it now. Gives it up for Reed. Shot clock at 25. Reed 1v1 versus a shorty. Tries to get inside, shoots and scores. Jackson Reed again on the board for Ohio State. His 4th of the night. It's 8-5 Buckeyes.
Terrific job by Jackson Reed using the defender's leverage against him. Watch him just get up top, and he realizes that Daninger has taken just an extra step, half step too far upfield. The stop, the turn, the finish. Nice body control and great recognition by Jackson Reed.
And the presence of mind to stay out of the crease. Very dangerously close with that right foot, went behind the goal. Reed on the night, very efficient, shooting 4 of 5 now in the contest. A senior out of Ontario, but impressive here for the Buckeyes in this one. The question for Rutgers right now, Mark, is you can't keep trading goals here with Ohio State now.
Got to go on a run.
Great job on the ride to knock the ball out of the stick and the entire stick out of the hands of Inacio.
We've got a push call against Rutgers.
A little late, but probably the right call.
Yeah, well, the ball went upfield, so the defense for the Buckeyes had to retrieve it, get it back up to the appropriate starting spot.
Surprised somebody hasn't started a Twitter feed in Lacrosse. Nick Myers' pen. Just hanging out on the right side of that hat. We'll have to get to the bottom of that at some point with Coach. Obviously, it's a good luck charm.
Yeah.
Shot from inside, hits the pipe, rings all the way out here to midfield.
I thought that might have been a double pipe.
Battle for the ground ball. For the moment came up Rutgers. Now Ari Allen has what they're going to call a push on Ohio State.
Consistent officiating, that's all you can ask for. That was very similar to the push that was called against Rutgers just a moment ago. The Scarlet Knights dodge a bullet right there. That looked like a double ping-ping that came back out.
Thomas Holden, Tim Chechia, Jeffrey Hoffman are officials here in game number 2, earning this assignment in the Big Ten tournament. course, when you see the Zebras that are working at this time of the year, Mark, more often than not, I know we have an official shortage across sports, but at this level, these folks earn it in these assignments because these are coveted spots.
Postseason, these are the rewards to guys who have been rated highly by coaches, that have done well in front of observers, and have called good games throughout the season.
And to your point a moment ago, consistency. Here's Knobloch, and Wallen again has the answer. Here comes Ohio State in transition off the 14th save by the Buckeye keeper. Pass goes too high, but Reed able to pull it down. No panic. And Skylar Wallen continues to be the story between the pipes for Ohio State. That's why Rutgers has not been able to get a run going here. Myers from behind and Kirst on the near side here. Ground ball comes up Rutgers. Good job by Brian Boswell to go get that. Rutgers moving the other way, down by a count of 8-5.
They've got to get something going. They got to get into some kind of rhythm. They haven't so far tonight. Ronan Jacoby's been the only answer.
Yeah, I was going to say the only thing that's consistently worked for them is Jacoby from the perimeter so far, because Wallen's got a 73% save percentage going in this contest right now. Take whatever goaltending metric you want right now. Goals against average, save percentage, Wallen getting the job done.
Good,
Scott.
Yeah, good support right there. Van Buren just pushed Scott right into the shorty matchup.
Gallagher trying to get underneath and use some leverage. Pass knocked down, he'll get it back. Cameron. Tereski will keep it moving. Shot clock at 15. Martola will try. He scores! Amazingly tonight, the shots from in tight. Wallen's had answers from the perimeter. Rutgers has found a little bit of success, and the big man, Martolo, puts it home here. It's 8-6.
Well, it's not Jacoby, but it's Bartolo, and the Scarlet Knights have had good success at dodging the middle of the field, then throwing it back as a shooter leaks out. They've done it on Jacoby, both sides. This time, Bartolo leaks out to the right, finds space, plants his feet, whips it past Whalen. You got to get Wallen moving. You got to get him moving side to side.
And Duhenio outside the door, and another save. Great job, Wallen, as Duhenio tried to go down low. Ball kicks to the left. 15 saves for Skylar Wallen, and he's getting into some pretty heady territory here. He's threatening the Big Ten tournament save mark.
Held by a pair of Penn State goaltenders, 2015. The late Connor Darcy had a sterling effort here on this field, and then just a week ago at Johns Hopkins, the freshman Jack Frassian for Penn State tied that record.
Smith on the far side. Oh, beautiful dodge here. Good support by Rutgers defensively to keep it from mounting to something, as Pelkey made a great move. Here's White. He slips down, gets back up, fires the bouncing shot. That goes wide with 23 on the shot clock. 5:31 to go here in this third quarter.
This is where Rutgers needs to buckle down and get a stop. They can't keep trading goals, like you said. They've got to get a stop, and they've got to string together a run of their own.
Pelkey now trying to get free again. Trying to force it inside for Myers, and Rutgers gets the stop you're asking for right there as Bobby Russo comes the other way. Cameron, they're going to force it back to Russo.
Never make that pass.
Russo, though, hustled and swept it back here for Bartolo to save the day for Rutgers.
If it's one complaint I have about Rutgers is plays like that, just head scratchers. Why would you give the ball back to a long pole in a settled offensive situation? And they're marked. That's just not smart lacrosse. He's standing in the middle of the field, a little bit of separation, hands free, short.
Great job by Scott to get free. And when Rutgers needs someone to take the initiative, Ross Scott does just that. And he draws the Scarlet Knights within 1. It's Ohio State 8 and Rutgers 7.
Ross Scott showing off his quickness, side to side. He'll make you dizzy with how quickly he changes direction. Gets the ball at X, comes back, boom, boom. See you later. Goal scored. And Rutgers has scored 2 in a row. Quicker than a hiccup. Number 5, Ross Scott delivers the dagger. And the Scarlet Knights trail by 1.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Get all the news and highlights from around the conference on The Big Show. Coming up next on the Big Ten Network. Skylar Wallen hoping he's a part of The Big Show so far. He's been big for Ohio State.
Just a terrific effort. He's been a difference maker since he's been inserted into the starting lineup for this Ohio State Buckeye team. Again, 19 saves against Maryland a couple weeks ago. He feels at home here at Capital One Field and Maryland Stadium. And there you take a look at the most saves all time in Big Ten tournament history for single game, and he's slowly climbing the charts against some terrific goaltenders that we've seen sterling performances in the past.
Quite frankly, I'll be surprised if he doesn't add his name to the top of that list by the time this game is over at the rate that he's going. Ground ball battle for face-off. Comes up Ohio State after the 2 Rutgers tallies, brings them to within 1. Ground ball work there for the Buckeyes. Chico getting that ball, and Ohio State 9 wins. Rutgers with 8 so far. Has a lot of those stats we talked about. Dead even through most of the game right now. The Buckeyes with a 1-goal lead. 3:50 to go now in this third quarter. Myers at 6'4" with a great catch there along the back line against Gene Felix. Wiseman. Back to Myers. See who has the answer for Ohio State if there's one here to break this Rutgers mini run.
Nice job of Rutgers. Good switch there. Good recovery. Creates the turnover. It's that 2-man. You saw the pick coming. So did Gene Felix. And it looked like he was going to struggle a little bit. He was a little too deep in the crease. Almost tripped over the back of the goal. But credit Russo for a well-timed slide. Got into the face of Myers and created that turnover.
So the exasperated look from Nick Myers there. 8th turnover for the Buckeyes, and a rare one from Myers in a simple pass and catch situation. Jacoby brings it across field. Looked a little goofy, but it was onside for Rutgers there.
Offsides is 7 forward. A lot of times you'll see a defender step over the midfield line and pokes in the stands or on the sidelines or yell, offsides, offsides, but it's all about how many players you have forward.
Here's Barlow, and he scores. And another long-range snipe from Rutgers. And they've climbed back. We're tied at 8.
Mitch Bartolo, really the first goal from up top, one-on-one, where the Scarlet Knights have won a matchup, gotten separation, and been able to beat Skylar Wallen, the tallest player in college lacrosse at 6'6". That's too easy if you're Mitch Bartolo. Not terrific defense right there if you're 38 in scarlet and gray. You got to get a lift on Mitch Bartolo. We see the Rutgers bench celebrate as the Leviathan with the long arms, tall frame, ties this thing up at 8.
Sometimes in a game like this, Mark, where there's literally 100 people here, you got to create your own energy. And for Rutgers trying to do that right now.
Well, we talked about going on a run, and they were down 8-5. They got the goal to 8-6. Okay, they need a defensive stop. They got it. Ross Scott makes it 8-7. I'm sorry, Ross Scott made it 8-6, and Bartolo now 2 goals in a row. Old man Mo has made a switch to this Rutgers sideline, and we'll see how Ohio State can handle a little bit of adversity at this juncture of the contest.
Jacoby now to Knobloch, right side. Tied at 8. Rutgers has scored the last 3 to get even. 2 minutes to go now in this third quarter. Knobloch gets the screen from Jacoby. Cameron to the far side, Jacoby. Now Bartolo, they keep it moving. Scott started right, comes back left, now goes back right. Looks to get it inside, try to force it in there to Knobloch. He was well marked that time defensively. Good job by Evan Riss defensively to shut that off inside.
That is the perfect word to describe that effort right there. Forced. Wasn't there. Good job by Ohio State to create the turnover.
Good job by Ari Allen here to come rescue his teammate there. Tyler Gallagher, the long pole, was like, please, somebody come get this ball for me. I'm trying to run around, but I'm trying to get rid of it. Somebody come get it.
I like how Gallagher just protected his stick. Just kept his feet moving. A lot of times in those situations, you just teach your poles to just head down the alley. Get separation, head down the alley. But I like how Gallagher protected his stick.
Wiseman trying to get to the center of the box. Jack Myers, 35 seconds remaining. Wiseman's pass too high for Reed, and that's going to go out of bounds. Another unforced error by Ohio State on the offensive end. 9 turnovers for the Buckeyes. Nick Myers looking at his guys like, come on, fellas. These are simple errors we're making.
2 straight trips, 2 turnovers, and there you see lower left third quarter shots on goal. Rutgers doing what they needed to do. Tied this game up. They're back in this thing, and they have a little bit of momentum going.
Bartolo fires. Wallen gets the save at the ankles. Outlet pass, middle of the field, but the clock is going to run out. 16 saves for Wallen, 6 in the quarter, and a big one right there to keep the game even through 3 quarters. The Scarlet Knights have finally got the run they needed to get even. We go to the 4th. Nothing decided in College Park on the Big Ten Network.
You're not just another policyholder to us. We remember your name. Hi, Cheryl.
You remembered my name.
Because it's your name. That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Two teams trying to get to the championship game, and Rutgers showed you some of that pedigree there in the third quarter that has had them up and around the top 5 all season long. They scored 4 times, currently on a 3-0 run to get it even here. Ohio State scoreless for the last 10:04. That only shot they had in the third quarter they scored on. But Mark, the thing that probably has Nick Myers perplexed right now is careless turnovers on the offensive end.
Wow, what a ground ball by Dehenio.
Dehenio's shot goes wide, but able to scoop that up and create a transition opportunity for himself.
That was one of the slickest ground balls I've ever seen. He just exploded out of the pack. Full head of steam, just missed the cage. But you're right, you know, Ohio State just has to cut down on the turnovers. What goalie is going to outshine the other in this fourth quarter? Colin Kirst, is he going to step up and be that first team all Big Ten performer that he is? Or will Skylar Wallen continue to kind of steal the show?
Question is will Ohio State get any shots on Kirst to make him do any work?
I'm going to say yes.
He was not busy in the third quarter.
They're going to stop turning the ball over, I have a feeling.
End of the quarter came at a good time, chance to kind of
regroup, reset. Yeah.
Cameron.
This is what we expected out of these two teams, though. Nip and tuck. I mean, that first game was
kind of an outlier.
Yeah, it was. When you look at the rest of the body of work of these two teams.
Scott against Gallagher here. That matchup has changed. Gallagher's been on him here the latter part of this game. Here comes another shot, that time from Jacoby. Goes wide.
I mean, he gets the spots.
Or does Wallen must have got a piece of that because they reset the shot clock to 60.
Okay. In the sport of lacrosse, the shot clock is reset. If it hits the goalie, hits the pipe.
Bartolo back up top. Knobloch right side now for Jacoby. Matched up against the shorty. Knobloch keeps it moving. Bartolo scores! Move the D. Get yourself a clean opportunity from the outside. And it's the perimeter shooting right now, Mark, from Rutgers that has dominated this second half.
We talked about ball movement for the Rutgers offense, and this is Jacoby on one side of the field. Bartolo just leaks out on the other. They have feasted on the backside defense tonight of the Ohio State Buckeyes, and Bartolo, the transfer from the University of Pennsylvania, with a right-handed hammer over the shoulder of the left-handed goaltender Whalen.
First lead for Rutgers since it was 2-1. 36th of the year for Bartolo in third tonight. Ground ball comes up Ohio State. Big one they needed there after losing the lead for the first time in a long time. Chico coming up with that one for the Buckeyes.
Great ground ball. That's what you need from your wings. Create that 50-50 situation, then dig it out. You haven't lived until you've officiated a face-off. The stuff that goes on in there, it is just a battle. I mean, it's just guys battling for this little rubber ball.
Up top, shot goes wide.
Just the physicality and the strength and the...
Kind of like 20 horses in the Kentucky Derby on Saturday, all crashing into each other. Here's a low-to-low opportunity, and Kirst, who hasn't had to make a save in a while, ready for that one on the worm burner, and he pulls it in for the Scarlet Knights, who look to protect a one-goal lead now. Gene Felix looking for his teammates to move around.
That's a good handle.
Good tough catch there in the middle of the field. Good ride by Ohio State. Knocked it out briefly. But a good play there by Frankowiak on the catch.
Well, and this is where these shorties for Rutgers have to separate themselves. Tommy Coyne, Frankowiak, Denninger. These guys have been Rutgers Scarlet Knights for a long, long time. And it's going to be on their shoulders if there is a stop like that one from Colin Kirst to get that ball from defense to offense.
First save for Kirst since the second quarter. Scott keeps it moving here for Gallagher. Bartolo again, that one goes wide. Scott will run it out, but you're right, guys like Frankowiak, and it's all those character guys we've talked to Brian Brecht about, multiple conversations with him this year, that You know, those are those blue-collar guys that make up the culture of this program that has allowed them to rise right now to the spot that they've gotten to. Oh, good move there by Knobloch. He scores with a low-to-high ripper. Shane Knobloch puts Rutgers up 2. It's 10-8.
Jersey Strong, the homegrown product out of Moorestown, New Jersey. Watch Knobloch set up this move. He's going to dodge to his left. Whirling dervish, comes back, plants his feet. Sayonara. What a shot by number 27 in the white and red. Whips it past Walland. And you can see, I like how Knobloch dipped low and waited a beat. Walland went down, and he elevated that shot over his shoulder.
Watching this game for a long time. First game I broadcast was back in 1991 with Salisbury and Hobart in the national championship game. And the skill of these players in both the men's and women's game of lacrosse just continues to astound where we go with it each and every year. The shot making, the shot taking.
Oh, you had a horn on every end line, on every sideline. Whistle stopping play constantly. Referees were wearing white shorts and socks. And I'm going to really nerd out right here. Current Penn State head coach Def Tambroni was on the Hobart Statesman, right?
He was in that game.
And my former, a good friend of mine and former sales director at my company, Mike Esham.
Oh, yeah.
All-American defender for Salisbury.
That's right. Number 31 for your Salisbury Seagulls.
Look at you.
Of course, back then they were Salisbury State.
Right.
Ross Scott trying to add to it. Stick gets hit as he goes to shoot. Good job defensively there by Jacob Snyder for Ohio State to keep Scott from getting something potent on that one. Jim Berkman figured it out. He got JUCO guys off of Long Island, and they since then have become a Division III power. It's been fun to watch that program through the years. Bartolo, he scores, and again, another perimeter shot from 15 yards away. Bartolo has scored 3 of the last 4 and 4 of the last 6 now for Rutgers.
This is nasty from Mitch Bartolo. Again, 6'6", winning the matchup, and then just drilling this shot past Wayland. If you noticed, the last 3 shots that have been high are all over the right shoulder of Skylar Walland. That is some probably offensive coordinator Eric Saramet picked up, and he has his guys putting it right at that location, and they are finally hitting pay dirt. Think about the last time Ohio State was here. They were down by, I believe, 2 goals to Maryland going into the 4th quarter, and the Terps just hit the gas. Luke Weirman was winning faceoffs. The offense for the Terps were humming. Logan McNaney made a couple of saves. It's almost like this is happening. I mean, obviously, the run started in the 3rd quarter for Rutgers, but the 4th quarter not being kind to Ohio State here tonight either.
Ed Sheen in control here. Buckeyes just 1 of 6 shooting here in the second half. Somebody's got to make a play now for the Buckeyes to state the obvious. Myers looking to do so here. Fakes the pass, keeps it right in front. Shot and a goal. Right on cue. Jack Myers makes the play. Ed Sheen with the finish. And the Buckeyes, with just their 2nd goal of the second half, they cut the Rutgers lead to 11-9.
Gigantic goal by Sheen. Myers has to make the plays. Jared Jean Felix looks a little gimpy on his ankle. The change of direction from Myers and a quick switch. No closeout on the big feeding machine for the Buckeyes. He finds Sheen backside, and that is a much-needed goal for the Ohio State faithful.
Great job by Myers not to force anything there, which he could have tried doing it individually on a dodge. Found Sheen out of Los Alamitos, California, the quarter horse capital of the world.
Wow, what a play.
Great job on the wings again by Francowiak.
That is 2 huge plays along that sideline made by Francowiak. I'll take, you know, I don't mean to laugh. You're a long stick midi. The toe drag is the last thing you want to try.
A for effort, but when you're up by 2 with 8:45 to go in the fourth quarter, probably not the best time.
Back it out, turn away from the pressure, and live the fight another day.
I would give Remington Reynolds A for effort, but time and score now has to become consideration because we're in the fourth quarter. Of course, I know everybody said we got to value every possession, but
of course. But now, I mean, you know, you're here. 8.5 minutes left to go in the game. 60-second shot clock.
Myers bouncing off of Gene Felix, backpedaling now. Sheen behind the goal, back to Myers. Gets picked up on the switch by the shorty here. Feeds inside. Oh, what a save by Kirst. Jackson Reed denied on the around-the-world shot, and Kirst standing tall right in between the pipes to make the save.
Credit Brendan Kamish for playing good defense on Myers, but Colin Kirst, we mentioned who's going to step up in this fourth quarter, that what goaltender is going to outshine the other, and Kirst, first team all Big Ten selection, playing up to that billing.
10 saves now for Colin Kirst. Scott keeps it moving quickly here. This has been the staple of the Rutgers offense in the second half. Move the ball, move the D, and end up with an open shot. Scott taking Gallagher behind the goal.
And you got those 2 hammers on each wing, Jacoby and Bartolo, respectively.
Scott. Bartolo backing up here. Gets the screen. He'll fire the shot. Stick to side by Wallen. That'll tie him with 17.
And a reset of the shot clock now.
In fact, make it 18, which puts him the all-time leader in Big Ten tournament history. Rutgers, who was good early in the game, not turning it over. Only 2 in the second half.
Yeah, they had that little stretch in the second quarter, about 5 or 6 minutes, where they just couldn't do anything right. They've remedied it.
Block. Back to Gallagher. Again, it's been passing side to side. Move the D. Fundamentally sound. Patient. Scott drawing Wallen, the goalie, out here. Jacoby switches hands. Now to Scott. Shot clock at 10. Knobloch on the dodge. Forced wide, now behind the goal. Up top, Bartolo fires in time. Wallen makes the save.
Good defense by Ohio State. Really didn't give up anything super quality look-wise to Rutgers on that last possession. Exactly what the doctor ordered. Down by 2 goals. Good defensive stand. Now it's time for the offense to pick up their defensive mates.
Mark, it's a big save by Skylar Wallen because those have been the shots here in the second half that have given him the most trouble. So it's a big save there as his team now tries to get the first of 2 they need to get even here. An 11-9 game with 5:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
Agreed, and credit his defense, though. That shot was probably about 4 yards deeper for Bartolo, and it was stick side high. So Bartolo just had to get rid of that bad boy, but that still had a lot of pepper on the goal.
Kirst denying Scott White that time from the near side. Backside pass, Colby Smith. That's off the side of the net. Kirst able to grab it there. Dangerous pass. Colby Smith almost able to step in and intercept that. Wow. It'll be Rutgers' ball and a very dangerous pass. Cross field by Bobby Russo.
If Rutgers was a cat, they're on like life number 5 right now. This the self-inflicted wounds. That was crisis averted, obviously, but man.
Well, sometimes when things are going your way, though,
yeah,
you get that kind of a break. Gallagher to Jacoby again. Rutgers is going to keep moving it with tempo here offensively until they get a good look. Knobloch, rolls away, but he slips down.
Ohio State has stepped into somewhat of a zone defense here.
Scott trying to get inside of Gallagher. 17 yards away, gives it up to Jacoby. Jacoby up top, Knobloch. Knobloch back to Jacoby. Jacoby will fire. That one is well wide. It's off the brick facing of the building behind the goal. Shot clock at 12 here for the Scarlet Knights.
No Bobby Van Buren on the field for Ohio State.
Inside, and it's Wallen making the big save on Jacoby on the interior. 3:41 to go. Wallen making another save. The problem is, though, 3:41 left. You got to defend for another 60 here after Wallen made his 20th stop of the night. Question is, Mark, how long can you let Rutgers pitch this around here up to with 3:20 remaining?
Making you play long stretches of defense.
Time and score on the Scarlet Knights side now as they move it around here near side for Bartolo.
You're still only down by 2. You don't want to do anything crazy at this point.
Scott, Gallagher, Wallen with another save.
And another reset.
Give them 60 more with 2:55 left.
Basically, we said this was going to be at the 8.5-minute mark, an 8 or 9 possession game, and right now, Rutgers is winning that possession battle. They've had 3 due to the initial possession, then 2 shot clock resets on this little stretch alone.
Wallen with 21 saves now, a new career best. The senior Buckeye netminder out of Powell, Ohio. Knobloch telling Gallagher, bring me a screen. Knobloch rolling to the middle of the box, gets down, had a stick hit as he went to shoot. Run out on, it's going to be Rutgers ball. 2:12 left, 13 on the shot clock here for the Scarlet Knights.
Look at Wallen with that hustle.
Now we're going to get a timeout. We've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the 4th. Rutgers by 2, looking to get to the title game on the Big Ten Network.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should get this. Hello, this is Sam. How can I help you? That's simple human sense. Ask your independent agent if auto owners make sense for you.
Si quieres saber realmente de qué estás hecho, navega hacia adentro, soltando esa increíble energía salvaje que te aventura hacia donde tú quieras. Por eso creamos la nueva Jeep Grand Cherokee, para que descubras por ti mismo de qué estás hecho.
Saturday night, we crown a champion in prime time here in College Park. Don't miss live coverage of the Big Ten Men's Lacrosse Tournament Championship. Saturday at 8 Eastern on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Maryland who won it last year Can they end the curse for head coach John Tillman and his staff watching this game right here now, trying to become the first Big Ten team hosting this tournament to win it? Brian Breck trying to do something about it. His Scarlet Knights lead by 2 with 2:12 remaining, 13 on the shot clock here for Rutgers.
Probably in that timeout, something quick to get a shot. If it doesn't work out, a defensive strategy employed.
Scott gets it done. Ross Scott turns back to the inside, and he muscles his way through. Mark, this is a weight room goal here by Ross Scott. Tied up by the defender, and he's able to put it home anyway.
A terrific individual effort by Ross Scott, who is worse for the wear. Looks like he's shaken up a little bit.
Wonder if it's a cramp.
Could
maybe.
be, yeah.
Trying to stretch it out. Watch the strength he uses here on this inside roll.
Quick hitter, as we mentioned, goes upfield, turns inside, absorbs the check. Nice right-handed shot. Then he just gets dumped after he scores a goal in the crease.
And you can tell he started to cramp up because watch his body at the end. You can tell he was cramping up.
Great individual effort by Ross Scott to score the goal. And look at the bench. It's like the McCardle family on Long Island doing backflips right now. So the Rutgers Scarlet Knights put another one in the back of the cage and up their lead to 3.
So impressed by Brian Breck's team and the no panic after Ohio State owned that first half.
They cleaned it up. They really did. They did a great job of cleaning it up.
Procedure call here on Rutgers. Minute 49 to go. Rutgers up by 3. And they have just dominated this second half, and now a timeout. Nick Myers needs to find a formula to get 3, and of course, if this result holds, Mark, now, this is what Ohio State sweats out this week. It's a pretty impressive resume, though, to bring before the committee.
You know, I think they're in pretty good shape when you look at their body of work. You know, a 10-4 record. They got the 4 top 20 RPI wins. Most importantly, they've beaten teams that are in contention for at-large berths to the NCAA tournament. When you talk about the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Ohio State's beaten them 4 years in a row, believe it or not. North Carolina, they were able to beat. And then Harvard, that game was played in Florida. And the Crimson having a terrific year. And Ohio State has that win in their back pocket. And Johns Hopkins, coming into today's game, number 20 in the RPI. Their RPI is only going to get better, if not stay the same, after that loss to Maryland.
I mean, it's 2 ACCs and an Ivy that they go schedule in the out-of-conference. You know, go play people. That's what, you know, committees like to tell us in all of these sports. Go play people. Well, Nick Myers and his staff have done just that. They've gone and scheduled people, and they're winning those games.
And they had games against Denver this year. They had a game at Cornell that was incredibly tight. You know, that's what these teams have done to build up their programs. You take Rutgers, for instance, 2016, 2 wins over Johns Hopkins in the regular season and the Big Ten tournament. But they watched the Blue Jays go to the NCAAs, and they didn't. The reason why? They had a bad loss that put their RPI in the low 20s. So what does Brian Breck do? He goes out, he starts scheduling Army, Loyola, really quality teams out of conference, Princeton. You got to play the best.
Knox fires. Kirst has the answer. Rutgers has outscored Ohio State 8-2 here in the second half, and Kirst, when tested, he wasn't tested much of the third, but he's been in the fourth, and he's had the answers. 12 saves now. And Big Ten's top goalkeeper.
And how about number 26, Mr. Frankowiak, with a key ground ball. He's made 3 huge plays now here in the fourth quarter that won't show up on the stat sheet. But, man, his plays along the sideline, and then now that key ground ball, which will show up on the stat sheet, that's the type of stuff that Rutgers needs to be successful.
4 ground balls for Frankowiak on the night. And again, those are the things that, you know, we can quantify with ground ball, you know, that the ground ball total, but it's how he's done it in a couple of these situations that's been most impressive. As Knobloch now 38 seconds to go. Gets stripped. Turnover. Buckeyes have to push the other way.
A little surprised Rutgers didn't burn a timeout there. They still have one.
Inside. Wow, what a shot by Jackson Reed. You could have two Colin Kirsts in the net. I don't think they were going to get that one. That's just an impressive finish from the Canadian. His 5th of the night.
Well, and I love the look as well from up top. Reed did a great job of getting underneath the defense. And look at that feed. That is gorgeous. But credit Jackson Reed for catching it on the run. Great look from Connor Camille. Whips it down low. Beautiful shot. Hey, this game's not over. If I'm Rutgers, I'm defensive all the way on this faceoff. You don't want Ignacio to win this thing out the door, the front door, and scoring a quick one to cut it to 1.
We've seen 2 goals in 4 seconds tonight, so we know it can happen.
And if you're DeHenio, you are just jamming up.
Yep.
Justin Ignacio.
Ignacio wins it. Buckeyes with a chance here. A timeout called with 15 seconds remaining. So Ignacio does his job to give the Buckeyes a chance here. Two programs that have been very consistent over the last couple of years, Maryland and Rutgers. 15 seconds away from potentially squaring off again. And again, it's good defense here. That shot goes wide. Ari Allen backs it up.